Thanks so much for joining us for another edition of KFFB's Open Mic program. We do have Senator Tom Cotton with us. And Senator, thanks as always taking time and updating us here in Arkansas what's going on in D.C.
Yeah, it's great to be on with you again. Happy New Year to you and all your listeners.
Well, it's a big time talk about Armed Service Committee hearing, and you were questioning the directors on this for intelligence. Let's talk about what this means for America's safety.
The hearing that we had was about the report on Russian hacking into the Democratic National Committee and John Podesta's email. John Podesta was Hillary Clinton's campaign chairman. I think it's important that we recognize that Russia is not our friend, and Vladimir Putin is KGB, always has been, always will be. I have no reason to doubt the conclusions that Russia was responsible for those two hacks. We'll be conducting a thorough inquiry, of course, on the Intelligence Committee to confirm those conclusions. But at the same time, I also don't believe for a moment that those hacks had anything to do with Donald Trump's victory. Vladimir Putin didn't hack into Hillary Clinton's calendar and cancel all of her rallies in Michigan and Wisconsin. He didn't hack into her speechwriter's computer and delete the speeches where she laid out a compelling economic agenda for working Americans. Hillary Clinton and the Democrats need to look in the mirror and face the facts. They lost because she ran a poor campaign and Barack Obama's policies have failed. Now, that doesn't mean that we shouldn't be standing up to Russia and taking a more confrontational line as we should have been for the last 8 years, because it's Barack Obama's weak policies that have encouraged Vladimir Putin to take these kind of activities. But those are two distinct issues.
Now, when you look at the hacking, it has been reported that the Democrats were hacked, Republicans weren't. Is that a true statement?
I don't want to go into all those details, Bob. I will say this, though. If it is true that Republican institutions like the Republican National Committee were hacked, that is not necessarily an indication of any kind of intent by Russia or its affiliates. I don't believe that Vladimir Putin had some master plan to elect Donald Trump, in no small part because I don't think Vladimir Putin had any special insight in our election. He believed, as I'm sure, just like most experts in Washington and New York believed, that Hillary Clinton was going to win. And he intended to undermine the expected Hillary Clinton presidency, not to try to elect Donald Trump. Therefore, it would not be surprising that they spent more time directing their resources against Democrats. It wouldn't be surprising that they released information about Democrats. I mean, it's the same way that we spend more of our time thinking about countries like Russia and China than we think about countries like, Uruguay or Bolivia. It's just a measure of the importance to us. So whether those reports about any hacking into the Republican National Committee are true, I don't think you can make any conclusions about Vladimir Putin's intent from that.
When you look at the Services Committee, the Armed Services Committee for, I guess, looking at our security, this is something goes on every day. It seems like a lot of Americans thinks, oh my goodness, there's some hacking going on. But this is a threat that happens every single second of every day. Is this not correct?
Yeah. Birds have got to fly, fish have got to swim, and Russian intelligence has got to hack. That's just what they do. Throughout the Cold War, the KGB referred to the United States as the main enemy. I hate to break it to your listeners, but Vladimir Putin and Russian intelligence services still refer to the United States as the main enemy.
All right, we're talking with Senator Tom Cotton here on KFFB's Open Mic. Stay tuned, day number 2 coming up, and we'll be talking with Senator Cotton about the Apple removing New York Times from their store in China. Also, we'll be talking about the Senate resolution condemning anti-Israel efforts by the United Nations. All that on Open Mic tomorrow.